Hi Capricorn, welcome, thanks for joining me. So this will be a weekly love reading for the sign of Capricorn. Also welcome cross watchers, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Ascendants. Okay, so what are the love messages we need to know for Capricorn? Love messages for Capricorn. Okay. Three of Pentacles, the Strength, the Star. Yeah, so either you or somebody wants to come towards you. So as I said, you're dealing with a fellow fire sign, or this could be your energy. I see this as the universe letting you know that you're protected. You know, you are born under the sign of the Archer, so you are protected anyway. Okay, you could be dealing with a Leo, a fellow fire sign, and we've got Aquarius energy, and then we've got Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Okay, so we've got the Star and we've got the Three of Coins. Okay, so this is definitely a twin flame soulmate connection. You could be waiting to hear from someone, or you know, somebody's definitely mastering something. Strength, courage, obstacles, challenges. You definitely make a great team here. Okay, someone could be healing themselves here, rejuvenating themselves, going through a cleansing stage, consulting with the divine, you know, the ancestors. It's a very spiritual connection here, you know, and you make a great team. You've got a very sort of strong, powerful bond with this person. I feel that you're each other's strengths, you know, and you're more powerful when you're together, you know, if that makes sense, Sag. Wait a minute. Just want to make sure that you guys can see, you know, because my tripod isn't very good. Hang on a sec. Can you see? Yeah. Someone's definitely wanting to start a new relationship, heal something with someone, a connection. So whoever you're dealing with, a twin flame, a soulmate, a person, you could be sorting things out. You could be going into business with someone, you know, definitely. Sorry guys, I'm a bit worried about my tripod. It's very unpredictable and it's very wobbly. It's not very good. Got to get a new one. Okay. This Star card as well, I do believe that you are hoping for something, you know, you are remaining hopeful, you know, as I said, it's going to be worth the wait with this Temperance card, you know, definitely starting a relationship with someone, with this Ace of Cups. I feel that you've got a lot of love for each other, you know, this overwhelmingness of affection and emotions. Some of you are definitely dealing with a water sign, a fellow fire sign, a Gemini, or an Aquarius. But there is faith here, you know, someone is holding their faith, you know, they're keeping their faith, you know, there's no doubt here so far in this person's mind, you know, for a renewal, you know, wish fulfillment. They're very hopeful again. Someone who consults with their ancestors and the divine, you know, and with this Strength card, you know, someone's really mastering their abilities here, mastering this connection, manifesting, sort of, you know, accommodating to their circumstances. Some of you could have definitely come into union already, some of you, and you're already working things out with someone, you know, coming to a peace resolution here, you know, mutual ground, mutual understanding, compromise, you know. Like I said, this is all about teamwork. Someone could be signing a contract here, going into business with someone, you know, a career opportunity to improve your finances. You see someone as a work of art, you know. There's a lot of divine intervention here. So again, a very spiritual connection, and someone here who is very spiritual within themselves. Yeah. Okay. I do feel that this person had to leave something behind in order to come forward to heal this connection with you, or you know, had to leave something behind. Something's definitely ended here because you've got the Ten of Swords. So again, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy here. You know, someone felt battle worn. Definitely something ended, some sort of darkness, some sort of bad chapter here. And they were healing themselves, like I said, mastering their strength. And there's a bit of strength testing going on here. if you're still waiting to hear from someone, somebody could be fearful that it's over, you know. They could just be mastering the strength and the courage, you know, to offer you their love, you know. Again, spiritual intervention here, you know, divine intervention, mastering, you know. Tell me more about this Ten of Swords. Tell me more about this Ten of Swords. Ooh. Oh. Sorry, guys. They drop on the floor and I can't always reach them. Okay. I just feel someone here is afraid to approach someone because they feel something's over, or they had to leave something behind, you know, in order to heal this connection with you, start this new chapter. So someone's mastering, you know, they're accommodating to their circumstances. Or someone feels like they've lost something. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. Someone's definitely healing from something here, because you've got the Four of Swords, okay? So someone could have felt betrayed, defeated, you know, and they need to have a rest, they need to heal, they need to recuperate, recharge their batteries, look, go through that sort of purifying, cleansing stage, which makes sense. I felt that with the Star card and the Temperance. They're mastering their strength and their courage, you know, they're recharging their batteries, look, and the universe is saying, you know, you need to have a rest. Someone here could be tired, saying a prayer, yeah? Okay, tell me more about this Four of Swords. Could have a bit of inner conflict going on here as well. If it's not you, it'll be your person. Tell me more about this Four of Swords. Yeah. There is definitely, hang on a second, something here, or somebody could be going through a spiritual transformation, an awakening. Someone here could be going through a transition period here, you know, needing to leave something behind, gain clarity from it and put it in the past, and wanting a new start. You know, someone's making changes here, you know, or they're having trouble accepting the inevitable. I do feel there's been betrayal here. So we've got the Death cards, we've got Scorpio energy, okay? So there was definitely a cycle in someone's life that's come to an end, as I said, where they need to recuperate, you know, get better. Put that one to come out. So that they can start this new chapter, heal this connection with you. It could have been multiple lovers, it could have been, you know, that someone had to leave a third party behind because they were betrayed. It was toxic, it wasn't good for them, you know. Definitely some sort of cycle here. Yeah. So I've got another major here, guys. We've got Judgment, okay? So that, again, you know, they are going through a spiritual awakening, personal transformation, personal changes. Someone here made a judgment call. Okay, they woke up, they made a judgment call to walk away from something that's not good, and they need to heal from that, look, with the Star card, before they heal a connection or give someone their love, offer someone their love. With this Ace of Cups, it's really talking to me, you know, like they really want to offer you their love, you know, express how they feel, have a beautiful blossoming new relationship with you, you know, but they had to make a judgment call. I felt that they had to make a choice. Could have been a third party situation, I definitely feel. Now, with this Judgment card, it's like they want to resurrect the connection with you. You know, it's going to be a rebirth of a relationship. They're going to heal it. Look, the connection, the chemistry with you, you know, but they had to leave something behind. They had their own judgment here. They woke up. They need to heal. You know, they need to rejuvenate. If it was a toxic third party, I do pick up a lot of betrayal here from a third party. You know, they could have money losses. I do believe that they finally made a decision, made a judgment call. you know, a choice to leave something behind that wasn't good for them. And that's why the Four of Swords is there. You know, they need to heal, recover, rejuvenate, get their strength back, get their confidence back. They want to be fearless before they start this next chapter in their life, you know. But there's definitely an awakening of a connection here, a relationship, you know. Tell me more about this Judgment. Again, with the divine intervention, okay. Someone here is very spiritual, very connected to the divine, got a lot of angels here. They want to make an announcement, they want to speak their truth, find their voice here, to communicate, to talk to you. But at the moment I do feel that they're just sort of removing the knives from their back. You know, there's betrayal, backstabbing here, that someone could suffer here with backaches. Somebody here might have been not well recently and they've been praying. Look, it could have been what's going on in the world, you know, they're worried about getting sick, you know, and that's why they're praying here, you know, they're worried about something. But there's definitely something here that they need to let go of. It could be that they're hanging on to you very tightly, okay, before they make that judgment call, you know, or it could be that they need to let go, or they finally are, you know, making a decision, you know, making a judgment call here to let go of something that's not good for them here. So we've got the Four of Pentacles here, guys, you know. You know, someone that they were around could have been obsessed with materialistic things, money, power. They could have been stuck in a comfort zone, but like I said, they had a wake-up call. They went through an awakening, okay. They made a judgment call here, and you know, they're going to let go of something in their past. There's definitely a negative cycle here that is coming to an end in your person's life, a completion, you know, and they're finally going to let that go, okay. I do believe someone is hanging on to someone here quite tightly. They've still got hope for a renewal, okay. With this Four of Pentacles, I feel that they do value you as a person, and vice versa, yeah. Tell me more about this Four of Coins. Someone could have got into the bad habit, you know, of materialistic things and codependencies and money and power, yeah, and they just needed to let that go. But they are finding direction here with this Two of Wands. Again, a fellow fire sign. So we've got someone here very passionate and fiery, Two of Wands, you know, knowing what they want, sense of direction, so, you know, a purpose, you know. I do feel this is your person wanting to sort of take aim, you know, like a bow and arrow, a bit like your sign there, you know, change direction, forward notion, making a decision, okay. They want you by their side. This also is about decisions, you know, they're thinking about it, okay, how much love they've got for you with this Two of Wands. So they're making a decision, you know, forward notion, the next stage, the next chapter in their life, sort of thing. Okay, some more on this Two of Wands. Someone definitely wants you by their side here, yeah. I feel this person's got a lot of determination, you know, and it could be you or your person. They like to be free, you know, they like to, maybe they feel free with you, at home with you. It is a twin flame soulmate connection here. Whoops, a daisy. That one nearly fell on the floor. I feel they're just gathering their bearings at the moment with this Two of Wands, you know, getting their thoughts together, you know, they're thinking about it, the correct way to approach you, you know, a strategy, yeah, okay, whoops, got that one ready to pop out. Okay, so somebody definitely dealing with a water sign, okay. Also someone that's a few years younger than you, okay, so you could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We've got a young page here, Page of Cups. Again, someone who could be very childish, very immature, imbalanced with their emotions, you know, they might need to sort of consult with their, you know, the divine, consult with their subconscious, you know, really sort of going within, you know, like I said, gathering their bearings, gathering their thoughts, thinking what to say. In the past, they could have been quite immature, quite childlike, you know, up and down. Pages can be quite stubborn as well. But you're definitely dealing with a romantic Page of Cups, a water sign that wants to offer you their love, wants to talk to you, wants to communicate, but they're coming up with a strategy to offer you their love. A romantic offer, a proposal, you know. So there's definitely communication coming in from a water sign, of, like I said, a love offer. You know, so someone's going to be communicating their love to you. Someone here is very family orientated, okay, definitely dealing with a water sign. And we've got the Ten of Cups, okay. So someone here is, like I said, very family orientated. You know, they want to have a future with you, build with you, you know, have kids, get married. Some of you could have kids with your person. You could be expecting, you know, you might want to get a house, and just, you know, solid ground, solid foundation. There's a lot of prosperity in this card. There's a lot of wish fulfillment, contentment, feeling very at home, and, you know, just like I said, just comfortable and safe in each other's lives. You know, building with you, like I said, we make a great team sort of thing, you know. You know, and Ten of Cups is about, again, you want to come home to someone, you know, there's a future here, there's potential for it to blossom into something even more beautiful, you know. And again, this is about family value, and, you know, maybe they didn't have that when they were little, so they might want to create that with you, you know. As I said, there is definitely a starting of a beautiful new relationship here. Okay, you could be married to your person. Yeah. You know, they really, all I'm hearing is future. You know, they really see a future with you settling down. You know, they're in it for the long run. You know, they're in it for the long run. This is the real deal. You know, they don't want to mess around this time. You know, they want to offer you stability, commitment, love, romance. But they're just coming up with a strategy here with this Two of Wands. They're thinking about it. Yeah? Getting their emotions in order, being, you know, fearless. You know, they're mastering it. Yeah? They're really mastering it. They're moderating at the moment. Their strength, healing, you know, closing negative chapters in their lives. Yeah? They're mastering it. Look, with this Temperance card. It's going to be worth the wait. Okay? It's going to be worth the wait, just a bit more patience, okay? The outcome looks really positive and beautiful here, okay? They've really got commitment on their mind, you know? They want to settle down now. I do feel in the past they could have been immature. I do feel they've got a lot of love and affection for you. You know, the cup is sort of overflowing with love and affection, you know, emotions, passion. There's a lot of passion here. Someone here is very dedicated, very hardworking and very determined. Okay, you're definitely dealing with a water sign and a fellow fire sign here. Okay. Someone here is very spiritual. But someone here might need to heal from something if they've been betrayed, you know, stabbed in the back. You know, they need to just recover from that, heal themselves, rejuvenate. As I said, they're balancing cycles here. You know, the ebb and the flow, like I said. You know, just gathering their bearings, healing from something. Just mastering, you know. The strength testing going on here, definitely. Whoa, that one just jumped out. Wow. So you've got the Nine of Cups. So you've got the wish fulfillment card here. Okay. Now you've got the 9 and the 10 of Cups, guys. So yes, you know, your person could be a bit of a they could have communication problems. They could be just a tiny bit of a lazy person, but if they were super lazy, it would be in reverse. Okay. Now this is about contentment, you know, feeling comfortable financially, feeling secure. You know, they've worked hard. Like I said, you're more powerful when you're together, manifesting, building together. You know, this person looks very happy, very content, wishes being fulfilled. Again, you know, craftsmanship, dedication, someone who's very hardworking and very passionate. You know, the 9 and the 10 of Cups. So whatever you're yearning for, whatever you're wishing for, whatever you're hoping for, it's going to come true. It's going to be fulfilled. Okay. Someone here really wants to open their heart, you know, to blessings and abundance here. Okay. Definitely dealing with a water sign. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You know, this person looks like they've achieved a lot, accomplished a lot, and they're just sort of, you know, relishing, you know, they're enjoying the fruits of their labour. Happy home life here, stability. Yeah. So things look quite positive, you know, in that respect. You know, somebody could be expecting here. Okay, so we've got the Page of Wands. Okay, so again, we've got fire energy here. Also, this could be your energy, you know, hoping that they're going to communicate, and it looks like they are. Okay, it's going to be worth the wait. So we've got Page of Wands. So again, you know, they're thinking about it, the best way to approach you, communicate, talk to you. Again, like I said, a young page, passionate, fiery, someone that likes to travel. I'm picking up traveling here with this 2 of Wands as well. You know, someone that's on the move. So they're going to send you a message. They're going to communicate towards you, text you, phone you. So there's communication coming in from a fellow fire sign, definitely. Okay. They really want to get things in motion. I do feel this person's going to surprise you. You know, it's going to be quite unexpected communication. So as I said, it looks like your wishes are going to be fulfilled here. Okay, they really want to speed things up here. And they're just thinking, you know, the right way to approach you here. But I do believe that you could have had communication already, you know, or they're going to send you a message here. They're getting ready, look, to make their move here. Okay. There's definitely communication coming in. It could be earlier than April, you know. Even if it's just a tiny bit of communication, yeah. They might have been in and out in the past, you know, being immature. But I do feel this time around, they've really done the work on themselves. They've had a wake-up call. They're going to make a judgment call here, you know, to put things right here, if that's the case. Yeah. So this is what they're working on, what they're mastering here. Speaking their truth, bringing clarity in, being in their power. Look, Ace of Swords, see? Truth, power, clarity, you know, really getting their thinking cap on, adjusting their crown. Could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, an air sign, you know. Changing their perspective here, feeling highly driven, motivated, passionate. Yeah, Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups. There's definitely romance coming in, there's balance coming in, there's security coming in. This person looks like they've got their head screwed on, you know. So like I said, there's power coming in, you know, truth. I just feel it's like somebody wants to build something with you. Yeah, you know, they're really serious this time, really dedicated, cutting cords with things that don't serve them anymore, putting it behind them. Yeah, walking away from things that don't serve them anymore, you know, being fair, being reasonable, thinking logically, you know, just, you know, taking action, communicating towards you. Ace of Swords. Also, this is someone who's highly intellectual as well. Yeah, they're all about reason, logic, fairness. You know, they want to bring balance to the situation. Might want to give you a gift. Yeah, some of you could be expecting. Yeah. So another ace, guys, a new start. Look, changing your outlook, changing your perspective. Yeah, Tell me more about this Ace of Swords. Okay. Yeah, someone here is definitely going to be celebrating something. Someone here you're expecting. There's engagement parties. You know, someone could be graduating from university, weddings. Also, someone's going on holiday, or someone's coming back from a holiday. You know, I'm picking up someone's been traveling and they've come back. Four of Wands. Again, we've got fire energy. Someone's definitely getting married here or getting engaged. Okay. This is, you know, like a soulmate energy card as well. I do feel that this person likes to have their privacy. You know, because, you know, they've got this high wall here. You know, so they might like to build a high wall. Give you, they've really got, you know, that, how do you say, you know, like when someone is very, very authoritative and in charge, and they like security in their life, you know, which makes sense. You know, you are a fire sign, you are passionate, you're dedicated, you're hardworking, you like your privacy, you like security, you know, you want your life to be secure, you like to be on stable ground, you like to feel safe. Yeah, there's definitely someone here either engaged or getting married. Celebrations here, someone graduating from university. You know, this is a very happy card, the Four of Wands, you know. Soulmates coming back together, yeah. Just enjoying the fruits of your labour, you know. Really building and, you know, planting something and it just grows into something beautiful. As I said, you know, blossoming, yeah. Someone here is quite overwhelmed with emotions and love and affection here, yeah. So it's a really solid foundation here, yeah. This came out just after the Ace of Swords. You know, this person really likes to be the king or the queen of their castle, sort of thing. They like to show you who's boss. As I said, fire sign, you know, you're very fiery, you're passionate, yeah. Someone's definitely expecting here. Yeah, okay. So we've got Two of Cups, okay. So there's definitely going to be a union here. Obviously, you know, there's divine intervention. I can't lie, I can't make this up. Okay, so someone here is definitely, there's going to be marriages, proposals, engagements, mutual. The feelings here are very mutual, it's very reciprocated. You know, balancing things out, sorting things out. You know, again, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, and we've got Leo energy there, fellow fire sign. Coming back together with your person. Sorting things out, you know, the Two of Cups, harmony, love, bliss, yeah, and the Lovers here, guys, yeah, reconnecting with an old twin, you know, a twin flame, a lost love, you know, sorting things out. Plus you've got the 9 and 10 of Cups, yeah. This is a very powerful connection that you've got with this person. I feel that you're very powerful, especially when you're together, you know. Can really, you know, like a power couple, you really can build and manifest together, you know. You are each other's strength. That's what I feel here, you know. There's a lot of passion here, you know. It's really got the potential to blossom here into something even more powerful and beautiful here, yeah. Someone here gets very overwhelmed, definitely dealing with a water sign, you know, coming back together, you know. Two of Cups is beautiful. Union, harmony, bliss, just peace, just absolute peace and abundance here. There's going to be a lot of happiness here, a lot of joy, yeah, a lot of victory here, you know, success. Okay. So the Four of Cups just popped out. So it could have been stagnant in the past. You know, your person might be, wherever they are, you know, it might be the fact that sorry about that, I thought I had a message. Okay, right, so we've got the Four of Cups. in the past, I feel this person was quite stubborn, okay? They were quite immature. They didn't want to let love in, they didn't want to commit. You get fed up, you get frustrated, you like to go travelling, travel the world, you like to be your own free spirit, you don't like to be tied down. I get the sort of sense that in the past this person had commitment problems. You know, they were afraid of change, they were being stubborn, selfish, you know, they didn't want to commit to anything. You could have been trying to reach out to them, they didn't want to know, you know. So, you know, and they could be mastering that, you know, kicking that habit there, you know, to leave something behind here. This could be you as well. You know, you're getting fed up of waiting, you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling bored, you know, discontent, you know. Tell me more about this Four of Cups. I feel that that's your energy. Because you could be tired of waiting. You know, this could be everything that you want, visualizing, you know, and someone here is tired of waiting, you know. I would say it is worth the wait. You know, you've got the Temperance card there, you've got the Wish Fulfillment card. Oops, what was that? I'll put that on when it to come out. Someone here could be scared of rejection here, you know. They're not taking something, you know, they're not accepting something, okay. So we've got the Page of Swords. So definitely someone is bored of waiting, watching, they're tired of waiting for someone. Again, air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You know, Page of Swords is someone's definitely got communication problems, because I keep stuttering. Someone here is watching. You know, they want to let their guard down, they want to change direction, coming up with a strategy. Could be watching your social media, but someone here is definitely wanting to let their guard down, speak their truth, be in their power, you know, sort of, like I said, change direction, let their guard down here, okay. Forward notion. Now this came out after the Four of Cups, so I'm hearing if it's not you, it'll be your person. They're tired of sitting and yeah. I just heard consistency, or you know, like where you've been at a stalemate for so long, they're getting ready to swing things into action here. Yeah. I zoned out then because I was listening to my guides. Yeah. So instead of just sitting and watching and waiting, you know, they're getting ready, look, to let their guard down, to make a move, to communicate, to stop watching because they're getting fed up. Look, someone here is really missing you and they want to bring truth and clarity into the situation here. Be in their power, okay? Make a judgment call. Send you this message here, okay? They might need to put a little bit of doubt back in, you know, sort of release any fear, doubt back into their mind. Could be a little bit afraid of rejection. But someone here really does, you know, maybe this is their mentality. Their expectations are a bit high. So they're thinking, you know, like they're thinking about it here. Best way to approach you, but they do really want to speed things up. Yeah? Oops. More about this Page of Swords. Ah, okay. So some of you could have a new person coming in. Okay, we've got the Page of Coins. So there's going to be a bit of drama here. You know, somebody might have to make a choice between two people. You've got the Lovers there. There's definitely communication problems here. You know, someone doesn't know how to communicate. Okay, so we've got Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. It could be your person has the traits of an earth sign, okay? They are watching you, I know that much, because the Page of Coins, he admires his beloved, you know, he admires his beloved, you know, he's got a lot of admiration for her, he's got a lot of respect for her, you know, before he makes his move, he wants to make sure that he's stable, he's secure, he's grounded, You know, again, a young person that likes to work hard. He might want to give you a gift, okay? Again, you might have a new person coming in, so you might have to make a choice between a new person and an old person here, okay? Again, you know, this person could be afraid that you could have someone else around you. That's why they want to come at you quite fast. But yeah, there's a young page, an earth sign here, that's got their eye on you, whether it's old person or new person, okay, that wants to give you a gift, okay? Again, someone that, as I said, they really admire you, yeah? So you could be dealing with an earth sign. What's the outcome here, Spirit? What's the outcome here? Outcome. Whoops. Okay, yeah. So some of you are definitely dealing with an earth sign. So with some of you, it's going to take a little bit more time than you expected. You know, this person really wants to give you the commitment, the stability. You know, they're really working hard to. They want to provide for you, look after you. This person is very family orientated. Okay, you could be in the family way. You could find out that you're in the family way. But there's someone here, you've got an earth sign here, Knight of Coins. Okay, they go at their own pace, you know, they're working slowly, they're working around the clock. You know, as I said, the Knight of Coins, he's kind of the slowest knight. Yeah, he is coming towards you, with some of you that are dealing with an earth sign, but it's just gonna, you know, just be kind of slow moving. You know, he really is hardworking and determined and dedicated. He likes to look after his family, if that's the case. Okay, so there is going to be forward motion, but they just want to make sure that they've got everything in order. They've got themselves in check. They're secure within themselves. They're secure within in their life, so they can provide for you, look after you, and give you that stability and that abundance that you deserve. You know. So someone here is very, very dedicated and hardworking here, very determined. You know, also they could be getting ready to give you a gift, but with some of you, you know, the communication is going to be a little bit slow. But as I said, there is truth and clarity coming in here. There's old cycles that are coming to a completion. Tiny bit of communication coming in from a fellow fire sign. Then you, because obviously they're mastering, you know, they're balancing a lot, juggling a lot, working around the clock, like I said, healing from something definitely. Working on and mastering, letting their guard down here, communicating, bringing in truth and clarity to a situation for this new start with you. Again, family value, family orientated here. And the Temperance card is they're mastering that, okay? The strength testing, you know, their commitment could be being tested, you know, but they're definitely mastering something here, okay? It's like they're trying to be the leader. Someone could be in charge of their own business here, okay? But with this Temperance card, it's going to be worth the wait. You just have to have a tiny bit more patience. You know, with this Knight of Coins, he works slowly, but the universe is saying it's going to be worth the wait. Just have a tiny bit more patience, okay? But union is coming here, guys, okay? This person could be trying to contact you on the the 5D. You know, they could be coming to you in a dream. Again, someone here who really believes in this connection, you know, they have every faith. Again, you know, there's a lot of divine intervention, okay? They just want to work hard and provide for you, you know, especially if you've got kids, you know, just give you that stability. So I really hope that this gave you reassurance and peace of mind. I hope it was insightful. I hope it helped. This Ace of Swords is really talking to me, you know. As I said, power, truth, clarity, you know, reason, logic, fairness, yeah. This person's really got, you know, their thinking cap on. They seem quite mature now, yeah. So it's going to be worth the wait. I hope it was insightful, guys. Let me know in the comment section. You know, if you're new, give me a like, give me a subscribe. And, yeah, peace, love and blessings to you all. Mwah.